The Hitachi Young Leaders Initiative, HILE, is a corporate social responsibility program of Hitachi that was first launched in 1996. HILE has demonstrated long-term commitment to Asia as nurturing the next generation of Asian leaders by providing a platform for promising university students to voice out their unique perspectives as well as to promote mutual understanding among Asian countries. Over 16 years, Hitachi has developed the Resound Success programs and extended its initiative to 7 Asian countries, including Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan. In 2012, for the second time, Vietnam was chosen as the host country for the 11th edition of the HILE, where 28 of the best and brightest students were gathered in Hanoi to discuss the main theme, the new stage for Asia, an Asian perspective on managing sustainable development and economic integration. The 11th HILE in Vietnam also saw great support and full engagement of the regional leaders and politicians. 28 selected young leaders and more than 500 forum guests gathered in Hanoi to discuss key regional issues. The 11th HILE is a 5-day program consisting of forums, closed-door student workshops, an overnight trip to Halong Bay, and a press conference. 28 outstanding students represented the 7 participating countries for the program, namely Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan. All of them were carefully chosen from a rigorous selection process. Academic excellence, sound leadership qualities, participation in significant extracurricular activities, knowledge on current regional issues, and fluency in English were all strictly considered. In-depth discussions, forums, and other activities during the program were great opportunities that encouraged the potential young Asian leaders to meet and discuss crucial issues pertaining to the region. The well-balanced education will stand them in good stead for the future.
Today, our alumni are 252 leaders and prolific high achievers in their respective fields. Hitachi, as a strong believer in our commitment to contribute and give back to the society, is heartened to see how these big dreams back then are becoming reality.
During the opening remark at the first day forum, the chairman of Hitachi affirmed the commitment of Hitachi as promoting corporate social responsibility activities targeting to the future leaders' generation as a way to give something back to the society. In the meantime, His Excellency Hoang Chum Hai, Deputy Prime Minister of Vietnam, showed his agreement as he stated that to build sustainable Asian community, the young leaders with the talent and creative ideas will help deal with threats and challenges.
Châu Á ngày càng có tiếng nói quan trọng trong việc điều chỉnh nền kinh tế toàn cầu và sẽ có vai trò dẫn dắt trong tương lai không xa. Trên con đường đi tới thịnh vượng, hướng tới phát triển bền vững của khu vực, tầm nhìn của các thủ lĩnh trẻ châu Á đang có mặt ở đây sẽ góp phần đưa những ý tưởng sáng tạo, táo bạo nhằm giải quyết các nguy cơ và thách thức.
Mornings during HILE's first 2 days were devoted to lectures by the different speakers as they covered 4 main topics: sustainable transportation and mobility, seeking sustainable energy options, moving toward an economically integrated community, and moving toward a secure community. For the discussion on topic sustainable transportation and mobility, traffic jams was raised as the biggest challenge for Asia. Students showed their big concern and questioned about the solutions to reduce road congestion and increase the efficiency of building mass transport systems. While the speaker from Thailand, Momrachaom Shukumpan Poripat, considered more about the new transportation systems with the idea of building monorail and bus rapid transit, Dr. Ngo Duan Vinh from Vietnam emphasized the important role of government and policymakers in reallocating the most populous areas out of the city center. Regarding the topic of seeking sustainable energy options, Datuk Insinyur Ahmad Fauzi bin Hassan from Malaysia and Dr. Insigne Jajang Sukarna from Indonesia shared common views on the essence of renewable energy development. During the panel discussion, the importance of cooperation of the private sector and global partnerships in seeking sustainable energy options was raised. Mr. Toshiaki Kuzuoka, Senior Vice President and Executive Officer of Hitachi, started the second Forum Day by delivering the welcome speech, followed by the remarks of His Excellency Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary Yasuaki Tanizaki, Embassy of Japan. As indicated by Mr. Tanizaki, the subject of the 11th Haili is most suitable for the new development stage, and it is timely and useful for young leaders from ASEAN countries to have discussions on this subject and deepen mutual understanding.
It is crucially important that ASEAN leaders share the direction of the development of the whole Asian region.
Addressing the sub-theme, Economic Partnership and Integration, Honorable Gregory L. Domingo, in his keynote speech, shared a solution of the Philippines.
One way to really focus on inclusive economic growth is through the promotion of small and medium enterprises. That's why in the ASEAN area and in APEC, Philippines has been pushing very much on the SME agenda.
Since economic integration was the main topic of both presentations, Dr. Rebecca Fatima Santamaria from Malaysia and Professor Yukiko Fukagawa from Japan, the discussion and question and answer session mostly focused on how to make ASEAN an integrated economic community. The speakers analyzed 3 pillars in the process of economic integration of ASEAN and highlighted economic pillar as a core to motivate and move the community into vision of integration. The students, on the other hand, pointed out some challenges Asia needs to consider as moving towards the vision of economically integrated community, which are global economic crisis, shared benefit, and development gaps among regional countries. Ending the forum session, the topic Moving Toward a Secure Community was presented by Dr. Chan Duk Ming and Dr. Chan Ding Tien, both from the host country. Suggested in the presentations of both speakers, a secure community will be achievable if the development is kept sustainable. Speakers and students agreed that young leaders will play a very important role to build and develop a secure community, with consideration of food security, sustainable development, and environmental concerns. "28 students were divided into 4 groups. Each was assigned one of the topics and challenged to draw up a recommendation."
Actually, in group discussion, I have many new insight in the Hitachi Young Leaders Initiative. Why? Because we can learn from different countries.
At least at this current moment, we're not even talking about just free movement of people. It's sort of a coordination of policies between countries.
I think that really the lesson for here is that actually Asia is growing a lot, and there's many young leaders actually emerging, and they are really active and they're really positive to our future.
To enhance the students' learning experience and rich networking out of the conference venue, Hitachi organized an overnight field trip to Halong Bay. At this UNESCO World Heritage Site, students had the opportunity to marvel at the beautiful landscape while discovering how human and natural ecosystems can coexist and develop interdependently to achieve sustainable economic development. In the press conference moderated by Mr. Bam Aquino, who was the 3rd Haili alumnus, students presented their collective points of view from 5 days of intensive debate and discussion and their recommendation to address regional issues related to their assigned topics. One of the groups brought up a new term, Asian Century, where custom-made policies will guarantee equitable benefits to each nation.
As a Malaysian, I get to know that every countries are different, and then they are very exciting. And the students from the other countries as well, they are very friendly.
After an intensive working week, an inclusive farewell dinner was prepared for the 11th Haili Young Leaders to show performances that represent their home country's culture. Students in colorful traditional costumes performed special dances and songs, bringing a warm, festive atmosphere in a good harmony to all students and invited guests. After 5 days, 28 young leaders passed through a series of meaningful activities, experiencing different cultures, learning, working, and spending time together. The 11th Haili also witnessed the exceptional talents as well as the strong ambition of future leaders in collaboration for further regional cooperation and empowerment. The progressive ideas, the passion of students, and the meaningful relationships inspired from the event will be remembered for a long time to come.